So, we're going to find out what the second battleground of this series is going to be in a bit, guys. Hot Lady, I think they actually performed really, really well on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we touched upon this last week already. That seems to be the battleground where traditionally, even the stronger teams like SPT and C, they struggle a little bit.
Yeah, it is banned.
Oh, it is banned. Never mind.
It was one of the first two. So we're seeing Infernal, second ESTAR pick. Once again, going to that standard of standard Diablo maps.
Yeah, so we're going to stay true to the theme. Going to Infernal Shrines. And, what would we like to see coming out of Hot Lady on Infernal Shrines? I mean, you could run an Illidan comp again, to be honest. And if you put more resources into it, like you said, maybe with a Bloodlust, you can definitely make it work here.
Absolutely. If you either not overcommit, if you either fully commit to it, or just play it differently, do an RPG style of taking that hunter and just avoiding team fights as much as possible. It does work, as they have proved. Yeah. But we will see if that's what they go for. For now, though, 8-3 versus 1-4. ESTAR again with a very positive win rate map.
Absolutely, and that basically tells the whole story. How consistent, how successful ESTAR has been throughout Phase 1 and Phase 2. Their stats are looking absolutely immaculate. So, with ESTAR, of course, choosing the map, it is Hot Lady's time to get the first pick and first ban. And they take away the Auriel. It's a hero that China #1 excels at, and it's a hero that has stepped up a lot in terms of overall importance and banning priority.
Auriel and Genji, the top bans basically now in HC China. Uther's dropped off. It's fascinating to me how directly after Uther's nerf, before people actually realized that he wasn't as good as before. Like, he's still good, but the way the meta's changed and stuff like that, everyone was like, okay, Uther's still first ban worthy, we'll just first pick Auriel because she's good and works with so many things. And then people were like, oh, this is worse. This is so much worse. Let's ban Auriel.
Exactly. And there's so many hope batteries in the game by now that you can't eliminate them all. Like, there's still the Gul'dan, the Lunara, the Vala, the Zul'jin. Yeah. There's a lot. Even the Greymane works, if you're honest.
Do double support, that it doesn't matter. It's the biggest empower for a Cho'Gall comp that became super meta for a very short amount of time when Auriel was actually allowed.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Cho'Gall has become insanely popular. Now, nothing new here. Uther has been chosen first.
Yeah, how well do you think Stukov's going to work with Cho'Gall at all? I'm not so sure.
Maybe in a double support, but as a solo healer, I don't think it's going to work out too well because he has a fairly long cooldown on his biggest heal, which is the D, his trade. And
I saw
similar to Lily, I think that, like, if you have a healer who can't really time his healings that well, or who can't really choose the target burst heal, those are not going to work really well on those carry comps.
Yeah. I saw a comp recently, nice comfort picks again coming in for ESTAR. I saw an idea recently which was Lucio and Stukov with the constantly spreading as long as it goes through him heal with the extra heal above 60%, and then maybe Brightwing, and it's literally just the zero effort heal comp. Like, Stukov has to press Q once and he's good, and everyone else just sits there, and then it's just spread the heals all day.
Yeah, sounds very tempting to me. I mean, it's certainly... Never mind. We see the Stitches for the first time, Tetra, and I am a little bit worried because I can't remember Carlo being an outstanding Stitches player.
I remember him being a not very good Stitches player. If we're going to be brutally honest about it, the last time he played it, it was pretty shocking.
Oh boy, okay. Well, I would love to be proven wrong. Don't get me wrong here. It's just that it sometimes seems like you just pick meta heroes and heroes that are kind of trendy right now just because, and not because you actually have a player who excels at playing those heroes. If it would have been RPG and Wang on the Stitches, I'd be like, hell yeah, give me more of that. But
let's do it. Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Maybe Carlo has practiced the hero a lot. Maybe he can prove us wrong and make us look like dummies on stream. I would love it to be the case.
Yeah, that would be cool. For now, it is Dahaka as the ban from ESTAR, and Arthas removed out here. Yeah, they could have played Arthas. I've seen Ooze on Arthas before. That's doable. So fair enough.
Yeah, and if it ain't broke, don't need to fix it. FC going on that turtle, and I love it. I've become a big fan of FC actually.
It's, like, You'd think at this point it would be a first ban.
Yeah,
Just
maybe a
purely
second
because
ban
it
at least,
seems
yeah.
to be the only tank he can play, for starters. But you give away Ariel or Genji, and that sucks, and you can't do that. It's not allowed. You're going to ruin your own game. I don't know. The teams need to work out individual player weaknesses more, I think. Because once again, if that tank player, we're talking about Carlo so much, if you throw off FZ, then you ruin ESTAR's comp as well. A lot of times it really drops down onto Good and the two supports to try and carry.
I gotta agree, and if you take a look at other major regions, like Europe in particular, those teams know each other so well that they sometimes don't care about those generic high-priority bans like the Genji or the Ariel. Like, for example, if a team plays Team Expert in Europe, well, they're probably gonna ban Medivh because ADRD is a living legend on that hero. So, I would love to see this...
Speaking of...
yeah, go ahead.
Generic and not high... Speaking of generic and high priority, we have the opposite of that. The Thrall is coming in here. 5 picks total.
Phase 1 and 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, not very highly picked at all. Welcome back into the fold, ex-Warchief.
Exactly, and ever since he has received his rework Thrall, that is, he's become even more interesting to watch because we still haven't figured out, or at least in China, we haven't really seen the definite way of building him. We have seen Sundrings, we have seen Earthquakes, also in terms of...
And he found a way. If you watched it, if you saw that clip on Reddit.
The full healing Thrall, that was
Thrall
beautiful.
never dies! Just fighting on the objective, just hitting all the buttons. Oh dear, I love it. I love Fan, I miss him so much. Oh well. For now though, let's see how they deal with this. Zarya, Illisin? Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't hate it, I guess. But is Zarya going... Like, they don't have a soul laner right now. They could send Greymane or Illidan. I guess that would work.
Laner, I guess.
Yeah.
Against Thrall.
But where's the follow-up, really, for the Stitches hook as well? I mean, sure, you have the hammer from Uther, but that's only a mini-stun, if you will. I would have loved to see something else. Maybe a Kalthus with a stun would have also been a great pick on Infernal Shrines in general, like the massive wave clear he provides, the zoning. But let's see how the Zarya is going to do. I mean, we saw how good she can be used by Soa and Uncle G in particular, so maybe we're gonna get to see a pleasant surprise.
I hope so. I'm just excited to see this Thrall play. Like, it's nice to see him back. They're getting geared up for Garrosh. It's just like, okay, we need a competent war chief. We already know Sylvanas is OP, so let's make sure we have a backup just in case.
Who's your war chief, Tetcher? I know that there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of Horde fanboys who are like, Thrall is not my war chief, or Garrosh is not my war chief.
Hashtag not my war chief.
Who is your war chief, Tetcher? Or is it maybe even Sylvanas?
No, because I really don't... I still don't see Sylvanas as a war chief. I still see her as the leader of the Forsaken. It's her people. It's her against the world. She looks out for herself and her people, and that's it. The Horde is just her sort of pseudo family that she's been sort of dragged into kicking and screaming. My war chief, I don't think it's Thrall. Honestly, I would say it would be Garrosh or Grom. Not Zul'jin. Oh, sorry, not Vol'jin. Vol'jin was like he was
cool inactive.
At all.
Let's put it this way.
He was he was cool, but he was inactive. He didn't do a huge amount. So I would say Grom or Garrosh.
It's a good one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 between ESTAR and Hots Lady on Infernal Shrine is going to take place in a few seconds. And on the left-hand side in the blue, we have ESTAR once again with FZ on his Turiel trademark. Then we have China #1 on the Rhaegar, Cassia by Good, Kid plays Tassadar, and Ooze on the Warchief Thrall.
Whereas on the right-hand side is going to be Hots Lady with the leader of Gilneas, Y on Greymane, Poppy on Uther, Lias on Illidan, Meng on Zarya, and Carlo is on that Stitches. We have the leader of the Gilneas and the Illidare and an ex-war chief here. We got a good selection.
We get a couple of really good leaders, I definitely do agree.
Apparently, Grom was never leader of anything but the Iron Horde. That is what I meant, but close enough.
Yeah, I mean, leader of the Warsong clan and the Iron Horde. It's all good.
Yeah,
See, that's the thing about the Horde. They don't even know their own factions. You know, there's too many of them. They just don't have that solid hierarchy and structure like the Alliance.
Alternate universes, yeah, they're canon, but shush, still could.
The Alliance, there's always one king. There's only one Alliance. See, it's much easier, much more reliable.
Yeah, they keep dying.
Hey, you stop it right now.
At least the Horde leaders can stay alive. Mostly.
Don't hit my sensitive spot here.
Vol'jin is an exception.
Yeah, Vol'jin is definitely an exception. And let's face it, if you compare Varian's death to Vol'jin's death, who's got the more glorious, the more heroic death? I dare you.
Oh no, Varian 100% had the more unnecessarily heroic death, I would say.
Oh my god, Tetra, I'm just gonna continue casting alone. I'm leaving Discord right now. Bye-bye, see you later.
Oh yeah, we're escaping on an airship. You know what I'll do? I'll fight the ground troops. That'll save my friends. But yes, we saw. For now though, very inactive start of the game. No hooks were landed. This is why we are throwing shade at each other's factions a bit at the start.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna have a blast just Colossus smashing all the Garrosh players starting off in a couple of weeks. So I won't mind. Speaking of Colossus Smash, by the way, we have seen that pop up a couple more times, and I gotta say, it's become more and more of a personal favorite of mine. I really think it has so much damage and so much playmaking value. I've been playing it a lot lately.
Yeah, it works in certain competitions. If you had a Baron in this game, I'd say it would potentially work on a Hot Lady side, like instead of an Aria, but probably not on the ESTAR side. They don't have enough burst damage.
Yeah, instead, let's actually take a look at the Thrall a little bit more here, because we don't see the Echo of the Elements, which is normally the standard go-to. Instead, we see a different talent, and it's called the Rolling Thunder, which is basically a very safe bet.
This is actually I've only seen Thrall come into play like 3 times since his rework, and this is the talent I've seen picked every time. But you say you have seen the Echoes picked more?
Yeah, from what I've seen, like Darkmug, for example, and some of the other rare Thrall appearances, it has always been Echo of the Elements, because you basically have an easy time stacking it up. You get 2 charges, but in the meantime, while we ramble and continue talking about Thrall's talents, there's actually a teamfight breaking out.
That Fend was so much damage. Lias and Meng are out. They want nothing more to do with this scenario anymore. Meng having to drop a shield. Carla getting shielded. Lias, my life for my team!
He lives!
And they get the kill. Beautiful move by Hot Lady.
Yeah, very, very clean. I do want to say, although it was very close.
Clean is not the word for that. Clean is not the word for what just happened, but it worked, so what?
Pretty sure Lias would call it clean. Like, easily predicted and cleanly executed.
Calculated. Predicted. Best pro player. Oh my god. Either way, we are seeing ESTAR pushing in. Even though they lost a member, they got the Punisher, and they're going to be able to take down at least only one tower. Wow. Someone does get down to half health, but Halsedi will be able to clear up the rest.
That is not a lot of value at all. The second tower actually remains standing for now, unless the minions... No, they don't get it for now. Look at the level 4 for Thrall, by the way. We see the Frost Wolf's Pack. Ooh. And that is basically a very gambly talent. It's a hit or miss. You need to land your Feral Spirit 7 times on an enemy hero in a row. The moment you miss or the moment you die, you're going to lose all of your stacks. But if you complete it, the cooldown and the mana cost by Feral Spirit are going to be reduced by 50%. And that is huge, especially if you build up like late game synergy, with another Feral Spirit, like Alpha Wolf. It's insanely strong.
It's what Sniper Master should have been. I like it. Blinding Light used there, and as such, the Blind able to force Lias. He gets on the point. He's holding it. He's back in. As we see the shield from Zarya on him. The Blinding Light again. Camp is taken. Shield dropped from Tyrael onto it, and Lias shall fall.
Oh.
Lias shall not fall. Oh my god, Lias. Why? Why do you consistently prove me wrong?
Lias, the playful trickster. Trickster, I guess, works as well. The playful trickster. I mean, he refuses to die. Yeah, I like that. I think we just came up with a new description, with a new title. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, anyone who keeps escaping death, especially if you guys saw the Near Slapifer horror movie, the playful trickster is our new phrase.
There we go. I mean, Lias just continues to evade death in a very spectacular fashion, and I gotta say, Hot Lady, they're playing really, really well in this early game on Infernal Shrines. Barely behind here in terms of global XP. In fact, they bounce it out right now. They go for objective when it's needed. And the Zarya actually coming in very impactful. I had not thought that she would be this useful.
Yes, those shields have been pretty clutch so far. I can't wait to see how it works out once she actually has her heroic. That lovely little gravity, not the gravity bomb, because no one ever picks that. We will see how she's able to do it. What kind of zoning can she offer? Because against Thrall, that seems really useful for now. Already, both teams fighting, not even close to 10. They're just scuffling, poking in. It's 18-0 in favor of Hot Lady. They are ahead on this objective for now. Lias, careful. There we go.
21-2, that's a huge lead, a massive blind as well from Good, hitting 4 people and forcing the enemies back for now. They're gonna take a sip from the healing fountain to come back rejuvenated and refreshed. Lias goes in, and he can dive that deep because there's barely any crowd control to keep him in place.
Kid dropping low,
they got him!
Grenade,
another one
down as well. Hot Lady shredding through this time, able to pick up 2 kills, and they will grab their first Punisher of the game.
And it's going to be an Arcane one as well, Tetra. Those are the deadliest ones available. They will give you the most structural damage, the most zoning potential, and of course the greatest kill potential as well if a target gets stunned and hit by those Arcane beams on the ground all the time. Now Meng absorbing a couple of shots. Meng, in fact, he played a Zarya last week or 2 weeks ago, if I recall correctly, and so far putting on a clinic, landing shield after shield, fulfilling his level 1 stacking talent as well. The Cedar is in there as well. Beautiful stun chain as well, and ESTAR has to fight without Good. That is not a good spot for them to be in.
Now, Good actually went for something very interesting. Went for that Bursting Light coming in at level 4, which is great against Uther, against the Hunt Illidan, but bad against Stitches, because it activates the second the stun hits you, aka at the end of the hook when no one else is there. So he did not get the blind that time. It was a very good hook by Carlo, and yeah, Good just kind of getting wrecked that time.
I mean, now we know the reason why he actually got caught, right? He just wanted to test if it would also work against the Punisher. Just wanted to, hey, does it work, guys? Okay.
It does, dude. You don't need to know this. It's just it goes on cooldown once you've been hooked. It was a bad call there, as we do see the rest of ESTAR now looking for kills. They want to try and get themselves back in this. They're a level behind. They're wading in super aggressively. Ball lightning being dropped, getting some good damage. The Hunt just shreds Thrall, who gets the Sundering but gets no value out of it. Tyrael Explosion giving a little bit of value onto that front line, but who's left? It's just Good, who tries to get a Lightning Fury onto Lias but can't land it. And again, Hot Lady taking a fight.
ESTAR is absolutely getting dismantled in those team fights. They can't even threat a single target from Hot Lady to fall. Lias a lot more stable thanks to the double support now from Zarya and Uther. The Greymane tearing things apart in the backline. Went for Go for the Throat, which I would have actually preferred to see in the game number 1 as well. But once again, against a solo Tyrael comp, you don't need the Curse Bullet, especially against Sanctification. You can basically misuse it, miscast it, whereas the Go for the Throat can normally be used a little bit safer in the middle of a combo of an engagement. So I like it. I really, really do like it.
I personally also really like Go for the Throat when you're against a Rhaegar in general. Because what's the one time Rhaegar's going to want to land Ancestral? When his teammate is just a little bit away from death, so you get the maximum healing value. Guess where Greybane excels with Go for the Throat? Exactly the same situation. You want to try and get those little snipes.
Yeah, you can go for the snipes, you can use it a lot more safely and deliberately, whereas the Curse Bullet kind of forces you to use it at the beginning of the fight in order to get maximum value of the percentage damage. Now, we had a massive freeze here. We apologize, guys. The Chinese clean feed has been not the most reliable one, but it gets the job done. And if you remember...
I am on 8, by the way, because remember these freezes usually desync us before the fight starts.
Let me double check here real quick. Sitting at 7 and 8.
That'll do. We'll take it. We'll take it. I've jumped up to 9. It'll do. As we see Hot Lady wading onto the point, but they're being driven back by ESTAR here. Here's the future bar. Hunter to the backline, trying to get the Thrall. Sanctification drop.
Oh, the Sundering.
The beautiful Sundering. Ball lightning shredding through the backline, which for some reason has Stitches in it, as Lias is in full retreat, trying to not get himself blown up by Good. That fight turned from Tassadar versus Illidan, where Illidan had a good chance to Good just waiting in, and Illidan going, I should not be here anymore. D-Shield has not been used yet. This time, I would argue, good patience coming in from Poppy.
Yeah, maybe the Divine Shield could have been used to save the Greyman as well if he had lightning reflexes, but it's really hard to anticipate a Sundering and, of course, to deny all the burst damage coming in as a follow-up, so we can't really blame Pommy too much for it here. And Hotsley, despite having a talent advantage, they lost the team fight, and they're gonna lose this objective and the fort in the process too. But they don't really bother with it. They took a mercenary camp at the top lane. That's gonna keep ESTAR distracted. ESTAR also not paying attention to Illidan in the middle. A beautiful hook over the wall, and good is no more. Carlo, we have been underestimating you quite a bit here in the draft, and I like what they were doing here. They were basically trying to keep this Punisher ahead of the wall, which is normally something we don't want to see, but when you know that the enemy team is retreating, you can as well just tank it from the wall and save a little bit of health on your keep.
Okay, so I would say that, once again, that was a good hook by Carlo, but oh my god, good. There is literally one place that you don't stand when you're against the Stitches on Infernal pushing into that particular base, and that's you don't stand near that wall. You push from the bottom area. Yeah, you get closed in against the wall, but you're not going to get hooked and die for free like that. That was 100% his own fault that he died.
That's a very good point you bring up there. Like, if you're a world-class ranged assassin and you play against the Stitches, you need to know the locations from where Stitches could hook you from by heart. You need to know, okay, this is the only location where Stitches could hook me over the wall without a wall piece actually intercepting, so I don't stay there. I must not stand there. There's a couple of maps where Stitches can really abuse that. On Dragonshire, we have the horseshoes on both sides. For example, on Tomb of Spranken, we have the same thing. But here, a little bit of a mistake on Good. But the Ancestor was good, and Good lives for now.
The Expulsion Zone is dropped, cutting off the escape, so they turn around with the Sanctification, but the Putrid Bile cutting off the turnaround again. Both these teams dropping all the abilities, looking for their opportunity, but both denying each other very nicely.
Yeah, nothing really escalated here. Now, once again, Thrall dying, by the way, means that his Frostwolf pack quest has been set to 0. No. We just saw the overlay here, so pretty much a dead talent, and for that reason I normally prefer the Mana Tide. It gives you cooldown reduction a little bit, it gives you a little bit of mana back, and it's just an overall reliable talent, whereas Frostwolf pack, true, it's nice if you complete it, but as it is right now, it's completely useless.
No risk, no reward, Hunt dead, goodbye,
oh boy.
Completely destroyed by Leas. And Hot Lady, they are about to ruin ESTAR's week here, because if ESTAR lose here, it's going to be insanely difficult for them to try and catch up to CE, the team above them. Hot Lady, though, they will be creeping up. Taking a game against ESTAR is something most of the other teams haven't been able to do, so that's going to get them a little bit closer to potentially sneaking away that number 5 position, maybe even number 4 if they can overtake RPG.
Yeah, very, very true. Hot Lady definitely playing out of their minds here in game number 2. They've taken a huge XP lead. They're going to get yet another Punisher, and the middle lane has already been taken down in terms of forwards and outer defense rings. So, with a little bit of luck and a little bit of mispositioning by ESTAR, they might actually get the first keep of the day. And I gotta say, the way Good positions himself, he's more of a liability than the carry that he's normally for ESTAR. So, he really needs to collect himself and play a lot more safely.
I agree. I don't know what he's doing today. Yeah. He's out of position.
We don't say this often about Good.
Yeah, like his name is literally Good, and there's a reason that we call him Good and not GD, because it works out that way. He is just an insanely efficient player. But today, that aggressive style, that aggressive positioning has just been being punished. He's been misplaying, and this is not what we like to see from ESTAR, who are now moving in, looking for their opportunities to try and get some comeback kills. But Hot Lady pulling back. They're a talent ahead. 60's just about to hit for ESTAR, so they're not going to take the fight. Instead, they're going to go for the mercenary camp and try the zone. They have to be very careful, though. Holy Ground's available. FC could try and trap him in here. It's not worth the attempt.
He cast the Eldrin's Might a little bit too far away from the platform as well. I think he just wanted to use it as a scouting tool because he wasn't really sure if he could go all in. So, no major influence of the Holy Ground thus far, but we remember the Holy Grounds from last game. They were actually game deciding at some point. Locking in the situation, that's exactly what they need to do. Do they have the damage? No, the Divine Shield denies all that focusing value, and Hot Lady is on the retreat.
Good dimensional shift, though, to dodge the hunt. As Hot Lady, like you said, they are on the retreat. And this time, a fight happened and Sank wasn't burned. There's the Sundering moving in. They find the Illidan, but the expulsion zone keeps him alive. Why is able to get out of the way of the lightning ball? And Hot Lady, again with the disengage. Zarya has been getting value today.
I gotta give all the credit in the world to Meng on that Zarya. We weren't really sure how much value the Zarya pick would get in the first place. And then, speaking of Meng as a little bit of a wonky player at times, not really showing his best performance every now and then, but today both is on point. The Zarya proving to be a great hero pick, and Meng absolutely wrecking and melting faces on it. As Tetra said, the expulsion zones have been picture perfect all the time, and despite a beautiful isolation with that Sundering on the Greymane as well, it was not enough for them to take out. Never mind, are they going to get Carl this time?
Is landed. Speed coming in from the Putrid Bile. Illidan a little bit out of position. There's the Sanctification. They're in full retreat. Lias getting focused down. The heals are being
cocktail.
He's out of range. They turned it round to pick up Thrall again. The ball lightning. Lias having to stay out of range. But he doesn't get blown up. Why is way too deep. Mistakes were made. The heal. He turns it round. He disengages. Moving back. Tyrael looking for the kill. Smite is dropped. Speed boost. Y goes down. As now it is FZ out of position. But he's able to move back. Now Meg getting zoned out. Thanks to that holy ground. Pommy in the same position. And ESTAR for once able to turn it round and put themselves in the correct position, as Pommy shall drop as well. That's a 2 for 1 in favor of ESTAR.
Did my eyes just deceive me, or did Pommy deny the helping hand hook with his Divine Shield?
I don't know. He may have. I did not
think that's actually what happened. I've never seen that before. The cocktail dealing so much damage to ESTAR, but yet they stabilize, and the healing, the shields, the blinds, all this damage mitigation proves to be so crucial in them winning the teamfight. Why? Now barely not making it out. It was so close. And now look at Stitches. Now I want to take you guys. Yeah, look at Pommy and Stitches. I think the Divine Shield actually denied the helping hand. Let's see.
Let's see it. See if we see it. See if we see it. And D-shield, yep. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. Oh dear. Well, either way, he died anyway. So, wow, what a crazy fight in general. ESTAR, despite getting, well, let's be honest, kind of wrecked the entire game so far. They have the Punisher. They're not going to push in with it though, because level 20 is on the cusp for Hot Lady. They don't want to take that unnecessary fight. They want to get XP everywhere else.
Alright, it is such a weird position. Like, ESTAR keeps winning those team fights, but yet they're still an entire level behind all the time and can't even capitalize on those one team fights because the objective is a little bit too risky to make it push all the way through when you're down a Storm Talon. So Hot Lady, once again, they stabilize. They have still 2 forts up, Tetcher. It is crazy how far they're still ahead in both XP and structures.
Still going, guys. Come on. There we go. Now rooted. Wow, that's a value Punisher, not in terms of damage, but in terms of sheer irritation. But Hot Lady, they have 20. They want to try and force something. Everyone from ESTAR is chilling in this top jungle area as Hot Lady move out onto the map. ESTAR approaching the 50% point on their level 19 to 20 journey. What can they do? They need to avoid any kind of fight. Carlo does not have fishing hook. This is all down to just a regular hook or a great value expulsion zone. Hook finds a minion. Time is at least on the side of ESTAR for now, though.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Hot Lady on the move. Can they get something done here? Thrall in a 1 versus 1 situation against Illidan. Has he seen Lias? Yes, I think he has. That's why he's on the retreat, because he knows that if Hot Lady are rotating, and if the hunt gets him as an initiation tool, he's probably going to end up falling, and every death matters. At 19 minutes into the game, you're going to get almost the entire full death timer duration, and that could be enough time for Hot Lady to swing by, get the middle keep. They already destroyed the top keep, mind you, so you really don't want to give them any more catapults on the battleground.
There's level 20. The window has closed for Hot Lady. They are purely now relying on the fact that they have won almost every fight up to this point. Let's see if they're able to do so. That slow cooldown force wall, though, could be such a big deal. And is what is basically an insanely short-range team from Hots Lady. This could be the difference. And of course, the Holy Arena coming in from Tyrael is going to have so much value. Lias, careful where you are, friend. He's going to get able to get a good flank.
Oh, Carlo's locked in.
This raid. He is locked in. Divine Shield's used. He's got some time. The Force Wall delays it, so they turn around instead. As Illidan trying to get some value, friend or foe. And that bought Carlo time, and Illidan with friend or foe able to get out, and they disengage. They did blow 3 of their 5 heroics, though.
Yeah.
But ESTAR blew 0. Force Wall was such low cooldown.
Yeah, the Holy Ground is a basic ability. So you burned, as Tetra said, 3 very, very impactful and very, very important cooldowns just for 1 Q of Tyrael. That's beautiful. But look at Hots Lady. They know exactly. They can never contest the Shrine fight because 3 of their heroic abilities are on cooldown. So they go for the keep. They don't go for the core, do they?
God, they go for the core.
Oh no, why don't you just get the keep and back off? This is an all-in core!
Hunt into the mid, minions. They're going straight for it. Carlo with the delay.
Where's ESTAR?
Zoning everyone away. ESTAR all beat back. Rhaegar's a little late though. Illidan is blinded. He's healing himself up as best he can. Jumping through to stay alive. They have no divine shield to keep this alive. The core down to 50% as they focus it. Illidan's still alive. Zarya
Uther comes back.
This catapults on the core. That's good.
Uther comes back.
Catapults engine. Zarya's gonna
Pommy!
Pommy with the holy fire finishes off the core. And that is GG. Look at their smiles. Hots Lady taking the game, making it a 1-1. And ESTAR are not happy.
They are not happy. The way they lost this game must feel very frustrating. Not only did they kind of underestimate the threat of a keep coral, they didn't even have the core call on the radar. They teleported back so late. You could see Thrall and I think it was Tyrael as well still chilling at the shrine area without even thinking of what could happen to their core. I mean, they focused down Greymane extremely fast. That was very nice. Illidan also falling relatively quickly. But in the end, it was just too little too late. And Hots Lady, we called them the masters of the 1-1 for a reason, Tetcher.
They really are. And they're able to take it off ESTAR as well. Now, Hots Lady have managed to take 1-1s versus... hang on, let's go through what they have here. Against Super Perfect Team.
Nice.
Soa, RPG, the only of the top 3 teams that they haven't taken a 1-1 against now is CE. That's the only one they haven't managed to take a 1-1 against. Both of CE have been able to 2-0 them both times.
Wow.